stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I do.
As a reminder to the public, if you wish to speak on an agenda item tonight, you must first raise your hand and be recognized by the chair. Upon being recognized, please state your name and address. On all agenda items except for open forum, each member of the public wishing to speak on a topic will be allowed to speak one time each for a period of up to 3 minutes. Speakers should direct comments to the board, not the audience, and speakers shall not disrupt proceedings of the public body nor speak out of turn. All right. That will bring us to the first public hearing. The purpose of this public hearing is to hear testimony concerning the proposed passage of resolution of necessity regarding the formation of Storm Sewer District number 2025-1 for the purpose of constructing proposed improvements to the village storm sewer system. Open to the public at 7:01. All right. Is there any public comment?
You got Brad Mouse there if there's any questions. So.
Go ahead.
This is just to set up like a perimeter room around town so things in the sewer system can be updated and repaired as needed, right?
Correct, yeah, so it's a statutory requirement in order for the village to issue general obligation bonds for the project. They have to have a resolution of necessity in place, and this hearing is part of that.
Okay.
Statute. You got it?
Thank you.
Yeah.
Anyone else?
Oh, if there's nothing else, we can close that one.
All right. Closed at 7:02. And we will open the second public hearing for the purpose of hearing testimony concerning an amendment to section 4.19 of the Eagle subdivision regulations as the same relates to design standards of the sanitary sewer system. Is there anybody that has any comments?
Oh, I would just say a couple things here real quick. Let's see, the planning commission approved this recommended change at its September 18th meeting. The village engineer took a peek at this and she recommends this change as well based on improved safety, ease of installation, better compaction, and consistency with regional standards, specifically the city of Lincoln. And I know Marcus was working with, he's been working on this for a little while, so if you have any questions, he's probably your best guy to ask.
All right. So we can close that public hearing too?
Yep.
Okay. Then that takes us to item number 1, discuss possible action resolution 2025-08, resolution of necessity creating storm sewer district number 2025-01. Can I get a motion to introduce the resolution?
So move. Second.
Okay. Go ahead, Nick.
Any further discussion on that? Otherwise, voting on the motion second to introduce resolution 2508. John?
Yes.
Marcus?
Yes.
Dan?
Yes.
Terry?
Yes.
Motion carried. No, I would do section 1 and then highlight the rest. Yep.
Resolution number 2025-08, resolution of necessity, be it resolved by the chairperson and board of trustees of the village of Eagle, Nebraska. Section 1, the chairperson and board of trustees of the board deem and declare it advisable and necessary to construct improvements to the existing storm sewer system of the village, including the extension of such system south on 2nd Street from A Street to B Street, west on B Street from 2nd Street to 4th Street, south on 4th Street, from B Street to C Street, and west on F Street from 5th Street to 100 feet west of 6th Street by installing a 30-inch storm sewer pipe. The board further finds that said improvements will constitute a general public improvement within the village, which may properly be financed by the issuance of general obligation bonds of said village.
Yep, this is the same resolution you guys passed, a couple meetings ago. The only difference is this is gonna say the resolution was held in the village fire hall. Let's see, the first one, Paul, was just kind of setting up that meeting, and this one's confirming that you had that meeting.
Yep, so the first meeting we did an introduction
Yep.
of this action, you had the public hearing, and then you're just passing the resolution now. You got it. Nick's a pro at this stuff.
Oh, no. So it's pretty foreign to me a lot of times.
Motion.
Yep, we'll just adopt that.
Motion to adopt the resolution. I'll make a motion to adopt the resolution 2025-08.
I'll second.
Any further discussion? Nick?
Voting on the motion second to adopt resolution 2508. Dan?
Yes.
Marcus?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
Terry?
Yes.
Motion carried.
That takes us to item number 2, the first reading of ordinance 2025-06, amending subdivision regulation section 4.19 by modifying the design standards of the sanitary sewer system. Can I get a motion to introduce 2025-06?
So moved. I'll second.
Okay,
Voting on the motion second to introduce ordinance 2506. Marcus?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
Dan?
Yes.
Terry?
yes.
Motion carried.
All right, ordinance number 2025-06, an ordinance of the Village of Eagle, Cass County, Nebraska to amend Chapter 11, Article 3, Section 11-301 of the Municipal Code of the Village of Eagle, Nebraska by the amendment of subdivision regulation section 4.19 by modifying the design standards of the sanitary sewer system to provide for the severability of any section, clause, provision, or portion found unconstitutional or invalid, to repeal all ordinance in conflict herewithin, to provide that this ordinance shall be published within the first 15 days after its passage and approval, either in pamphlet form or by posting it in 3 public places in the Village of Eagle, Nebraska, and shall be in full force and take effect from and after its passage, approval, and publication as provided herein. And to provide that the provisions of this ordinance shall become and be made a part of the municipal code of the Village of Eagle, Nebraska, and the sections of the ordinance may be renumbered to accomplish such intention.
Yep.
Can I get a motion to adopt resolution 2025-08?
Or accept first reading.
Motion to accept the first reading of ordinance 2025-06.
Second. Further discussion? Voting on the motion second to accept the first reading of ordinance 2506. Marcus?
Yes.
Dan?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
Terry?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Motion to suspend the rule of 3 consecutive readings of ordinance 2025-06. I'll second.
Further discussion on suspension of the rules. Voting on that motion. Dan?
Yes.
Marcus?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
Terry?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Motion to adopt ordinance 2025-06. I'll second.
Further discussion. Voting on the motion second to adopt ordinance 2506. John?
Yes.
Marcus?
Yes.
Dan?
Yes.
Terry?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Okay, that takes us to item number 3. Open forum is for discussion regarding items not found on the agenda and that do not require the spending of taxpayer dollars. Is there anybody present that would like to speak during open forum? Okay. That will take us to item number 4, second reading of ordinance 2025-04. Approval of zoning change from ag agriculture to RE residential estates for lot 1 replat, top tax lot 1 and tax lot 2 located in the south half of section 17, township 10, north, range 9, east of 6th primary meridian, Cass County, Nebraska.
And this one you'll just jump into reading. We did the first reading on the last meeting.
And ordinance number 2025-04, an ordinance of the Village of Eagle, Cass County, Nebraska, to amend the official zoning map of the Village of Eagle, Nebraska, pertaining to the following described real estate, to wit, Lot 1, replat, tax lot 1 and tax lot 2 located in the south half of the section 17, township 10, north, range 9, east of the 6th primary meridian, Cass County, Nebraska, from agriculture to the residential estates, to provide that the chair and the appropriate department, whether one or more of the Village of Eagle, Nebraska, are authorized and directed to implement this ordinance, to provide for the severability of any section, clause, or provision or portion found unconstitutional or invalid, to provide for the repeal of all ordinances in conflict herewith, to provide that this ordinance shall be published within the first 15 days after its passage and approval, either in pamphlet form or by posting in 3 public places in the Village of Eagle, Nebraska, and shall be in full force and take effect from and after its passage, approval, and publication as provided herein.
Motion to accept that second reading of ordinance 2025-04.
Second.
Any further discussion?
Voting on the motion second to accept the second reading of ordinance 2504. Marcus.
Yes.
John.
Yes.
Dan.
Yes.
Terry.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Can I get a motion to suspend the rules of 3 consecutive readings of ordinance 2025-04?
So moved.
Second.
Further discussion?
Voting on motion second to suspend the rules of ordinance 2504. Dan.
Yes.
John.
Yes.
Marcus.
Yes.
Terry.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Can I get a motion to adopt ordinance 2025-04?
So moved.
Second.
Further discussion, Nick?
Voting on the motion second to adopt ordinance 2504. John.
Yes.
Marcus.
Yes.
Dan.
Yes.
Terry.
Yes.
Motion carried. Give me a buzz tomorrow and we'll talk next steps.
Goes to the county then after that?
Yeah, we'll hopefully fetch our signatures and then get them up to the county. Or vice versa. We'll get ours first. So.
So probably take a week to get done down there maybe?
Yeah, we'll coordinate tomorrow.
Alright,
I'll do some.
thanks for all the help, I appreciate
Yep,
it.
thank you.
You guys have been very helpful all the way through.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you. Have a good night.
Thanks for coming.
See you.
Yes.
All right, that takes us to item number 5, the second reading of ordinance 2025-05, approval of zoning change from agriculture to RE residential estates for tax lot 38 located in the northwest 1/4 of section 19, township 10, north, range 9, east of the 6th prime meridian, Cass County, Nebraska. Ordinance number 2025-05. The ordinance of the Village of Eagle, Cass County, Nebraska, to amend the official zoning map of the Village of Eagle, Nebraska, pertaining to the following described real estate, to wit, tax lot 38 located in the northwest quarter of section 19, township 10, north, range 9, east of the 6th prime meridian, Cass County, Nebraska, from agriculture to RE residential estates, whether one or more of the Village of Eagle, Nebraska, are authorized and directed to implement this ordinance, to provide for the severability in any section, clause, or provision or portion found unconstitutional or invalid, to provide for the repeal of all ordinances in conflict herewith, to provide that this ordinance shall be published within the first 15 days after its passage and approval, either in pamphlet form or by posting in 3 public places in the Village of Eagle, Nebraska, and shall be in full force and take effect from and after its passage, approval, and publication as provided here. I get a motion to accept the second reading of 2025-05?
Second.
Any further discussion?
Voting on the motion second to accept the second reading of ordinance 2505. Dan?
Yes.
Marcus?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
Terry?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Can I get a motion to suspend the rules of 3 consecutive readings of ordinance 2025-05?
So moved. A second.
Any further discussion? Nick?
Voting on the motion second to suspend the rules of ordinance 2505. John?
Yes.
Dan?
Yes.
Marcus?
Yes.
Terry?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Can I get a motion to adopt ordinance 2025-05?
Motion to adopt ordinance 2025-05.
Second.
Further discussion? Nick?
Voting on the motion second to adopt ordinance 2505. Marcus?
Yes.
Dan?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
Terry?
Yes.
Motion carried. Four more.
Okay, that takes us to item number 6. First reading of ordinance 2025-07, creating street improvement district number 2025-02, F Street from 4th to 6th Street, and repealing ordinance 2025-03 of the village. Can I get a motion to introduce ordinance 2025-07?
Motion to introduce ordinance 2025-07.
Second.
Okay,
Further discussion on that? Voting on the motion second to introduce ordinance 2507. John?
Yes.
Marcus?
Yes.
Dan?
Yes.
Terry?
yes.
Motion carried.
Okay. Ordinance number 2025-07, an ordinance of the Village of Eagle, Nebraska, creating street improvement district number 2025-02 within the village, defining the boundaries of said district and the property contained therein, and providing for the construction of improvements therein consisting of grading and or regrading, recurbing, and reguttering, or construction of curb and gutter as drainage improvements, pedestrian walkways, and such other appurtenances as may be incidental thereto, and repealing ordinance number 2025-03 of the village. Can I get a motion to accept the first reading of ordinance 2025-07?
So moved. Second.
Any further discussion? Nick?
Voting on the motion second to accept the first reading of ordinance 2507. Dan?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
Marcus?
Yes.
Terry?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Can I get a motion to suspend the rules of 3 consecutive readings of ordinance 2025-07?
So moved.
Second.
Any further discussion? Nick?
Voting on the motion second to suspend the rules of ordinance 2507. Marcus?
Yes.
Dan?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
Terry?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Can I get a motion to adopt ordinance 2025-07?
Motion to adopt 2025.
Second.
Any further discussion? Nick?
Voting on the motion second to adopt ordinance 2507. John?
Yes.
Marcus?
Yes.
Dan?
Yes.
Terry?
Yes.
Motion carried.
All right, that takes us to item number 7, first reading of ordinance 2025-08, creating street improvement district number 2025-03, 4th Street from A Street to the Mopac Trail. Can I get a motion to introduce ordinance 2025-08?
Motion to introduce ordinance 2025-08.
Second.
Any further discussion? Nick?
Voting on the motion second to introduce ordinance 2508. Dan?
Yes.
Marcus?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
Terry?
Yes.
Motion carried.
All right, ordinance number 2025-08, ordinance of the Village of Eagle, Nebraska, creating street improvement district number 2025-03 within the village, defining the boundaries of said district and the property contained therein, and providing for the construction of improvements therein consisting of grading and or regrading, recurbing, and reguttering, or construction of curb and gutter as may be required, paving, repaving, earthwork, storm drainage improvements, pedestrian walkways, and such other appurtenances as may be incidental thereto. Can I get a motion to accept the first reading of ordinance 2025-08?
So moved.
Any further discussion? Nick?
Voting on the motion second to accept the first reading of ordinance 2508. John?
Yes.
Dan?
Yes.
Marcus?
Yes.
Terry?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Can I get a motion to suspend the rules of 3 consecutive readings of ordinance 2025-08?
So moved.
Second.
Any further discussion? Nick?
Voting on the motion second to suspend the rules of ordinance 2508. John?
Yes.
Marcus?
Yes.
Dan?
Yes.
Terry?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Can I get a motion to adopt ordinance 2025-08?
So moved. I'll second.
Any further discussion? Nick?
Voting on the motion second to adopt ordinance 2508. Dan?
Yes.
Marcus?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
Terry?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Alright, that takes us to item number 8. Read the first reading of ordinance 2025-09, creating sidewalk improvement district number 2025-01, F Street from 4th to 6th Street. Can I get a motion to introduce ordinance 2025-09?
Motion to introduce 2025-09. Second.
Any further discussion? Nick?
Voting on the motion second to introduce ordinance 2509. John?
Yes.
Dan?
Yes.
Marcus?
Yes.
Terry?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Alright, ordinance number 2025-09, an ordinance of the Village of Eagle, Nebraska, creating sidewalk improvement district number 2025-01 within the village, defining the boundaries of said district and the property contained therein, and providing for the construction of sidewalks and the improvement of sidewalk space therein. Can I get a motion to accept the first reading of ordinance 2025-09?
So moved. Second.
Any further discussion?
I might point out that some of those areas do not have sidewalks, or the sidewalks are in such disrepair that, hey, they're dangerous to our pedestrians as well as they're not ADA compliant.
Any further discussion? Nick?
Voting on the motion second to accept the first reading of ordinance 2509. Marcus?
Yes.
Dan?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
Terry?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Can I get a motion to suspend the rules for 3 consecutive readings of ordinance 2025-09?
So moved.
Second.
Any further discussion? Nick?
Voting on the motion second to suspend the rules of ordinance 2509. John?
Yes.
Dan?
Yes.
Marcus?
Yes.
Terry?
Yes.
Motion carried.
That takes us to item number 9, the first reading of,
Oh, yeah. Just, we have to adopt real quick.
I thought we just did.
But just suspended.
No, okay. We need a motion to adopt ordinance 2025-09.
Motion to adopt ordinance 2025-09.
Second.
Any further discussion? Nick?
Voting on the motion second to adopt ordinance 2509. Dan?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
Marcus?
Yes.
Terry?
Yes.
Motion carried. Big thing.
Alright, that takes us to item 9, first reading of ordinance 2025-10, creating a sidewalk improvement district number 2025-02, 4th Street from A Street to the Mopac Trail. Can I get a motion to introduce ordinance 2025-10?
Motion to introduce 2025-10.
Second.
Alright, any further discussion? Nick?
Voting on the motion second to introduce ordinance 2510. Marcus?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
Dan?
Yes.
Terry?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Ordinance number 2025-10, an ordinance of the Village of Eagle, Nebraska, creating sidewalk improvement district number 2025-02 within the village, defining the boundaries of said district and the property contained therein and providing for the construction of sidewalks and the improvement of sidewalk space therein. Can I get a motion to accept the first reading of ordinance 2025-10?
So moved.
Second.
Any further discussion? Nick?
Voting on the motion second to accept the first reading of ordinance 2510. Marcus.
Yes.
Dan.
Yes.
John.
Yes.
Terry.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Can I get a motion to suspend the rules of 3 consecutive readings of ordinance 2025-10?
So moved. Second.
Any further discussion? Nick?
Voting on the motion second to suspend the rules of 3 consecutive readings of ordinance 2510. John.
Yes.
Marcus.
Yes.
Dan.
Yes.
Terry.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Can I get a motion to adopt ordinance 2025-10?
So moved.
Second.
Any further discussion? Nick?
Voting on the motion second to adopt ordinance 2510. Dan.
Yes.
John.
Yes.
Marcus. Terry.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Perfect. Thank you so much. We'll get one copies, Nick, of those docs marked for signature.
Got them all. So
You?
yeah.
Okay, perfect. All right.
I'll send them all to you tomorrow.
That sounds great. And then there will be a hearing on the sidewalk district creation on the 17th. And then we'll plan to come back with an ordinance that allows us to fund construction funding as soon as you folks get bids and all that. Does
Okay.
that sound like a plan for
Yep.
November 17th?
Appreciate it.
Yep. So we'll plan on being back out for that, and we'll have that ordinance. We'll touch base so that you're, not to take too much time, but the estimate of cost came in around 2.6 and change. Do you want us to put 2.8 million, not to exceed, in that ordinance, or 2.7 to give you wiggle room? We can always issue less. We just can't exceed whatever number we put in that. Does that make sense?
I think we do.
Okay.
Yeah, just out of abundance of caution.
All right. We'll put 2.8 million in there, and if we need to, we can update it up to that point. Perfect. Thanks so much,
guys.
folks, for having us out.
Appreciate
Thank you.
Thank you. If you want.
Thanks.
Yep. Have a good night.
You too.
Did you have a report tonight? Or are you just hanging out?
All I've got is the statistics from the month of September.
Oh, so we don't have a formal agenda item for you tonight, but if you want to share with us quick, you can.
Okay. Let's see. So this is for the month of September. Total of 57 calls created for District Eagle. And break those down further if you want. We had 3 total citations written in the district, and deputies put in a total of 177 hours, or 177.25 hours for the month of September.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. You may have any questions for me?
I have noticed that you patrol more along the school there in the afternoon. I do appreciate that because
There was
your presence is bound to show sooner or later.
anytime that we get calls about that, anybody sends like an email or anything, they send us out an email to all of road patrol, and that was one that we got, was to patrol First Street more during school pickup and drop off times. If you guys-
I just wanted you to relay a message that behalf of the fire department, thank you guys for coming to that fire awareness day. They came to fire awareness day.
Oh, fire awareness. Yeah, I'll just pass that along.
Thanks for coming.
I guess what I've got for one thing that I would just make you guys aware of, just because I had an issue with it earlier today, is a lot of other towns in the county have been having troubles with kids on their electric bikes, their e-bikes. It's not a bike, it's basically a dirt bike. But the problem that we're having with that is that they're not defined anywhere in state statute. They don't meet the definition of bicycle. They don't meet the definition of a motor vehicle. So we can't really cite for anything that they're doing. Having talked to my county attorney about it today, he said that until the Nebraska legislature moves on getting a definition for that, it's going to be up to municipalities to figure out what they want to do with that and write their own ordinances. So if you guys are having troubles with those, I would suggest that you guys look into drafting some kind of a municipal ordinance on it.
Did you guys have a stop tonight in Eagle then?
Yeah, I had some kid that was riding around on one earlier tonight, and so yeah, I had to talk to our county attorney about it. Plattsmouth's having a big problem with them right now too, and so that's pretty much the stopgap measure is municipalities are going to have to figure out their own ordinances concerning the e-bikes. Like I said, they're not defined in state statute right now, so we can't really write citations based on it.
So what did you tell him?
What's that?
What did you tell the person?
Told him to stop running around. If he kept doing it, he's gonna get himself killed.
Oh, perfect.
Well, thank you for
I
sharing
don't
that
think he
with us.
cares too much.
We'll talk to the attorney about it and see
Yeah.
what she thinks.
Yeah, and they can talk to Chris Brown about it too.
Okay.
We appreciate that, thank you.
Yep.
All right, that takes us to item number 10, report from fire and rescue.
Hi guys. All right, so this past month we had training for fire, responsible injury, and rescue. We did high performance CPR just to take a look at what we can do to take the next steps. In November we will be doing psych and neuro. Since we last met, we've had 4 fire calls, 8 rescue calls, 1 car accident, and 2 hazmat calls. And then our contract with the medical director was signed and the paperwork has been submitted to the state. So that process is rolling. It's a very slow process, but we're making our way through. I think that's about all we have. Do you guys have any questions?
I don't have any questions. Okay. We appreciate everything you guys do.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you guys.
All right. That
I
takes
should have
us,
brought up, we had voted for officers.
Oh,
We had voted
we haven't voted.
But I mean,
So
the election.
election docket has been set, so we have our people that have ran for officer positions for the department submitted, and then those votes will happen at our November meeting. So that'll be the 3rd Wednesday of November. Yes. Yeah, nobody's running opposed. So you're stuck with us for a bit longer.
you don't want to be the fire chief.
Absolutely not. Yeah, no thank you. But if you have any friends that want to volunteer, send them our way. Preferably medical providers.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
That takes us to item number 11, updates on the new fire and rescue station facility.
Well, good evening. Everything's moving right along. I would say, if I'm an architect today, he got pending approval of what you guys think of the prints, and I think those got sent out to everybody. I'd like 100% those here by the end of next week, so we can get this thing out for bid probably the 1st or 2nd week of November. So we know where we're sitting. So that's where we're at with that. Nothing's really changed. Dirt work scope. There's some areas of bad soil kind of in there where the building sits. But the way I look at it, we could probably general that ourselves, so that we don't put a general contractor on that part of it. Because if there's any change orders or anything like that, then it's just through us. There's no upcharge of it or anything like that. And then the flat work around the building, which you guys can see that will probably run underneath just general or something. There's no use paying a general contractor. Those 2 things. So yeah. So the rural approved interlocal agreement last Tuesday, and that's the line item A there, 11A. So I guess that's what we're sitting at there, and then the prints. Yeah, so I don't know what you had on that, Nick.
Yep, so we have her on the interlocal. Maureen sent me over the Nothing's changed since you guys saw it last. She would like you guys to go ahead and approve this tonight. Just knowing that there's just a few attachments we need to get yet. She hopes to have the triple net lease agreement done and by the next meeting. Otherwise, we're going to attach preliminary plans, final design plans, legal description, drawing of the facility property, and the triple net lease. Those 4 exhibits will be included with this once we have them all. So, otherwise, roll's already approved. She talked to Ryan McIntosh today, and we are good to sign it if you guys are good to approve it.
There's gonna be a flagpole in that area.
There will be. They're designing that whole, and I brought a little bit bigger print, and McKinsey wants to hold this up. There you go. So as it sits, Casey sits over here. We're looking at putting a big monument sign here with the flagpole in that splits where the village office is and where the fire station will sit. I think that's a better place for it than up here because it kind of defines both properties. That's what I was thinking, unless someone has anything that they want to change. Because once we start getting out here, you really can't. That's where that ditch is, and then it's just not going to look like it's something.
Have you picked the size? I'd like to see the same size in our park. So the flags are all the same. We'll go.
I would be getting size. That's yeah. That's the one thing. Like you guys tell me, if we want to put a 40-foot flagpole there and get that thing up there, let's get it up there.
Like what they did with the park, I think.
Yeah.
That's nice.
I think the
At
park's
the-
40.
It's either 40 or 45.
Okay, so at the end of the day, let's yeah, they're out there 50 foot. You know what I mean? That's what we want to do. Let's get by the time, the end of the day, when we pour footing and all that stuff there, it ain't gonna matter if it's 30 foot or if it's 50 foot. So whatever we want, that's not a big deal. Then, so there's that, and I think that's the last one you got.
I don't know.
But anyway,
Maybe.
so that's what we're looking at.
It's close enough.
Yep. Yep, so that's the rendering, and then that was the last floor plan. That's pretty much where everything's getting designed right now. So, nothing's changed basically from the scope of what we originally had. So, questions?
On division of this lot, which is coming up in Part B, where exactly is this red line supposed to be?
So, what we're proposing is a room, we just split that right there. Dead center, so right here is the existing entrance, right here, and I believe it's 40 foot wide right now, something like that.
42.
Yeah, so
45.
45.
45 is it, so we're right there, dead center. Because just in case, Mr. Kenny brought up, in case down the road, if you ever sell that property, if that ever gets sold, which I don't know if it ever will, but brought up, it still gives access to all our parking and all that stuff. And then there's no other reason to have, you know what I mean? Because then we're gonna have to go through a whole nother system before you sell it to do that. If that's, and why would you want to put it right here? Then you're taking parking away from your own fire station that you have owned. So we thought going right here, because then it would never change. This would be the main entrance, and then you could go right off that into the village building or whoever bought it.
But your linear feet north and south is longer on your section.
What's that?
The linear feet is longer on your section when you're dividing it right there.
What, here? Well, we're just dividing the entrance right here.
From north to south, on that lot that currently exists, you will have more linear feet north and south than we do, is what I'm saying.
So the problem is, don't divide it. If you divide it down here, then you don't meet your
I don't know
setbacks.
where I'm dividing. I'm just pointing that out for everybody's benefit, that measuring linear feet, you've got more than what we will if we ever, either one of us ever sells this property.
Well, the goal is it never gets sold.
Well,
Or like the park, because it's still your park. You still own half of this building.
not arguing that.
So
But
that's-
also in that agreement, when we do sell it, we have to be able to pay you back a certain percentage of that.
What's that, of the street? Or what?
Of the
We ever
building,
sell- if
of
we
the
ever
building
sell-
itself.
Yeah, if you guys ever buy it, so in 50 years, if it ever gets sold down the road or whatever, then you pay market value. Or if the Rural Fire District wants to buy it from you, they pay market value of the half of it. So this land was bought for $375,000. The station's $2.5 million. We are giving, basically, we are valuing this at $800,000, twice as much as what you bought the property for.
which we're still paying on for however many years it is.
I know, but what I'm saying is, you guys bought it for $375,000. Correct me if I'm wrong. We are valuing this piece of property at $800,000, 2 times what you bought the whole property for.
I'm not arguing that.
So the rural fire district's paying $1.66 million for this, and you guys are going to end up paying $800,000.
Regardless, the decision to divide this is a decision of the board, nobody else. I'm just pointing out for them the points I've already made. There's no argument here as far as I'm
No,
concerned.
and like I said, my argument is, if you just take this here, then you just shut the parking off to the fire station. If someone bought that property, you would turn around, and now you can't use that parking because you wouldn't have access into it. That's why it makes sense to burn it right down the center of it, and at the end of the day, this part is still on your property that's going there, and the rural is paying to pay half of it for you, 2/3 of it, to be honest with you. Because
You
the way
will
they
put another
contract-
entrance in there, though. You make it keep sounding like that's the only entrance to the fire station. You have one south of there you're gonna be putting in.
Yeah, that's just the
Okay.
only parking we have here. I need this parking here for this, because that's where the office area is at.
Again, can't people come in your south entrance you're gonna put in?
Yeah, but how would I park people here?
That's
That
got
is,
nothing to do with the entrance coming into the thing. You're gonna have room there to do it regardless.
I know, but like, okay, so, Mr. Sherman, I just want you to explain this to me. So if you decide to break this thing right here, down here, and then you turn around and sell this property, what does this parking that the rural is paying 2/3 for do? Nothing, because this is the handicap parking for the fire station office area. So why would we even want to split this right here? Why wouldn't you go right down there in case someone else bought it? You have 40 feet. You have 20 feet of road right here. 45, 22 feet. So why would you even not split it there so you would never go down this road?
Because somewhere down the road, and hey, I don't have all the answers, but you know, G Street could be extended 40, 50 years from now, and it's gonna be wider than that. You gotta take in the whole width of what the right of way is.
And we would have parking there. And then we would jump that bridge when we got there, but why would we want to jump this bridge now?
I'm just pointing out again for the benefit of the village board when they make this decision as to what could or could not happen.
So this doesn't do me any good. This gives me 8 stalls of parking.
I'm not doing anything on the south side of that building.
I know, but that only gives me 8 stalls of parking to get in here when the whole meeting area and everything with handicap is there. That's what I'm saying. This thing should be split right down the middle, because we're gonna split it here, and I'm not gonna pay for 2/3 of the parking lot that we're not even gonna use.
How wide is our right of way, Terry, when we put a street in?
50 feet,
60 feet,
50 feet.
50.
So,
So you extend G Street down there and you gotta have a total of 50 feet width, which half of which is on your side. What does that do?
does nothing. We make an agreement that it's open to a public street.
Okay,
But I can't sit here and, here's my thing. The biggest issue is if you decide to sell this in 5 years, a different board comes in and decides, hey, we're gonna sell this. I have no right to the parking on that. I have no right on that street going. That's why I need the right. Because you guys decide to make this here, which you got at least come 15 feet back for the setback of the building. Am I right, Terry?
How many feet again, did you say?
15.
Yeah.
At least would have to. So that's why we're saying right down the center of the street, that's a fair deal. It helps you guys out, it helps us out. And then down the road, if you ever have to put a street in, you can use it. We're still allowed to park there because you own half of that anyway. You own all of this, but you're gonna own half of this. So by right, you own 3/4 of it. You know what I mean? But I can't say, yeah, we're gonna jump on board on this if you're not gonna let us be able to, because there's nothing in writing that says you can't sell that. And then now I can't park in my parking lot. And the funny part is, I don't know, it seems like you're against the rural on this part, and I don't understand why, because you own half the fire station.
I'm not against anything. I'm pointing out things to you as what could be 30, 40 years down the road. I don't know G Street will ever open in anybody's
I
lifetime.
hope it doesn't, to be honest.
Well-
My personal opinion is it just stays shut.
But it could is the point. It dead ends up on the Second Street, could come right on to Third Street. Sorry, it could come right on through it.
So,
There has been some talk about that to get to the village office on past boards.
yeah, and like I said, so then if you're gonna do that, then you scrap board all that, because then what are we doing? To be honest, because then you gotta board city paving, city street, all that stuff, next, so it's not even this way set. Either that, or we deal with this now, split it right there, and then in 30 or 40 years, then it just goes back, and you guys have the right to it anyway, because you own 2/3 of it, 3/4 of it.
I agree with you.
Like I said, I gotta give access. It's just not the rural that you think, like, it's the village of Eagle always have this building. That's what, like, sometimes I feel like it's like, oh, you think the rural's taking a minute. We're giving you 800,000 for this. Twice as much as you paid for the whole property.
It's very good for you.
Any other questions, I guess, on that part?
Yeah, maybe we should hit B first and, you know, if there's a motion out there about approving the lot division before we do the interlocal. I might have had those mixed up, so maybe we look at item B first. Approval of the lot division location and contracting services for an administrative subdivision. I did reach out to Jeff Dayharsh with Cornerstone Surveying. Be somewhere between 1,400 and 1,800 is kind of his ballpark without knowing all the details to have the survey done. I talked to Luke about that, so they're aware of kind of what's going on. We just need to give them a line, so maybe we do that first.
I would like to make a motion that we approve the lot division location and the contracting service for the administration subdivision as drawn. Can I get a second?
I'll second.
Any further discussion?
One other thing. One of the things that was addressed too is to have room for a semi to turn around. And I know right now there's, without any kind of fence being there, obviously, there's going to be room for a semi to turn around and stuff like that. But like you said, if for some reason the fire station was sold and there was a fence put up there, they're not going to have enough room. But one thing that I was somewhat, me and Nick and Bryce kind of were talking about a little bit, maybe just taking all of that fence down to the north of the drive too and cutting that curb out so that way semis could actually pull here and back into the lot. That way it would give the city village more room for bigger trucks. That way because they won't have room to turn around. I don't know if we want to kind of consider that as an option in putting into this situation too, that way. Because I think both, the fire department needs that, but so does the village. Both need it, and that's the only thing I've heard that might help solve that solution is taking more of that curb out around that curb and taking the fence down. That way bigger trucks can pull down the street and back into it, or pull into it and then back down that street a little bit. That way, I don't know if other people's thoughts on it.
Technically, I think, as long as they're not on the fire call and stuff, you have their driveway in, plus you have their parking.
Yeah.
The semi could come in and loop around.
Yes.
Just the way it's designed, as long as.
Concrete's gonna be thick, right?
Yeah, so the concrete, we're good on the concrete wise, guys. The other thing too is, and like I said, there's gonna be room back here. If you actually just wanted to take a semi back here, you will have that little swing area back there. I back semis in all the time. It's my full-time job. I back them down residential job sites all the time on a 24-foot wide street. There's no reason a semi can't back into this if they had to. There isn't. It's
I'm just-
45
What I was
feet
pointing
wide.
out, if there was a fence ever put up on that property where this line is proposed right now, if we were to, I don't know if we want to think ahead on maybe doing that sooner or just wait and see what
You
happens.
want to put a fence down this line?
No, if somebody were to buy the fire department,
But if somebody were gonna buy that, we would have the option to negotiate that up front too.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
I would
I'm
say,
just saying that's an option that we
Yeah.
could do, is take out more of that curb.
I mean, I kind of left this wide open in case the village ever wanted to run curb and parking lot down this way. You know what I mean? That's why this is wide open. That way, if you wanted to run parking lot down that whole fence line that way, where you could have people park, that's why I left that whole thing wide open for you guys. I totally understand what you're talking about, Marcus. I mean,
Yeah.
to be honest, you won't be able to get a semi shot down there if you have to.
Well, if we didn't own it, it wouldn't be an option. That's what
Yeah.
I'm, just for future stuff, if we had to.
Because this is basically rocked all the way to the fence line in here.
I'm saying if they fence here
Yeah.
where we couldn't have permission to drive on it,
But if we
that would
have
be
to
an option would be to take this curb out here, and that would give them access. If the fire department sell, or we also know whatever fence is up there, we don't have access to it. I'm pointing out there is an
But you-
extra option.
You could do that down
You
the road.
could
as well.
possibly do that.
Yeah, I mean, the goal is, yes, I think we're probably sitting here going, this is
Yeah.
probably never gonna happen.
Yeah.
I mean, it's nice to look out for it. I totally understand what John's saying over there, and I totally understand. Guys, at the end of the day, I gotta protect the line here that we always have parking in front of for the fire department. And that's no different than you guys. You're part of this whole thing, the situation. So that's what I'm at. I told Marcus, that could be an idea down the road. If it ever gets sold, we just grind the curb and boom, you're right in. You can move that entrance a little bit over if you had to. It's not a big deal. I think what would ever happen if you ever sold this property, it would just be a legal agreement that you both have access to that road and you're done.
Right. I know whether this is the fire department project, or this is our project.
Yes, and that's what I say. I think sometimes we get around if it's the rural fire district or whatever. It's one vision, one goal. That's what we're trying to do here because it benefits everybody. It just doesn't benefit the rural fire district. It just doesn't benefit the village. This benefits, that over there benefits this building here. To what we can do with this building.
For the whole community.
For the whole community, for the rural community even, for the community center part. And that's a good point. You know, like it's just not. I just don't want everybody to think it's just the rural.
No.
It's all of us.
All right, Nick.
Okay, let's vote on the motion second here to approve the lot division location and contracting services as discussed and as printed on the preliminary plan. Is that a preliminary plan
What's that?
right there?
This?
Just a preliminary drawing?
Yeah, this
Okay.
is yeah.
For an administrative subdivision. Voting on that. Dan,
Yes.
Marcus,
Yes.
John,
Yes,
Terry,
Yes.
motion carried. And I think we hop back up to A, approval of the interlocal agreement with the village and Eagle Alva Rural Fire.
I would like to make a motion to approve the interlocal agreement between the Village of Eagle and Eagle Alva Fire Protection District Number 9. Can I get a second?
I'll second.
Any further discussion? Nick?
Voting on the motion second to approve the interlocal agreement between the Village of Eagle and Eagle Alva Rural Fire Protection District Number 9. Marcus,
Yes.
John,
yes,
Dan,
Yes.
Terry.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Thank you.
No, thank you guys for your time. Like I said, this is a group project by all of us, and we're gonna get there. We're that much further closer. So, Fort and Marshall be here. So,
Waiting all the time.
Yeah.
no, we're getting there. We are getting there. So yeah. So like I said, I don't know the next meeting. What is that? November 4th.
Yeah, the goal is to have the triple net lease by then, but one of those meetings in November.
Yeah, that way. And then I'm trying to get this thing bid out in November, so we got a guaranteed price on that for a March start. Because then that's when we'll go through the whole bond thing. If someone sees anything on the print right now, board members or whatever, let me know. They can thank, we're getting close to the end of this, where we're wrapping up prints or whatever. If you got a major change, you know what I mean, the color is not a major change. It's, I just don't think this room should be here or something like that. Would you please let me know? We're gonna have 80,000 stuff into these prints before it's all set. Okay? Thank you very much, guys.
Thank you, Luke. All right, that takes us to item number 12. Consider changing Keno operator from EHPB Lottery Services Big Red Keno to Daily Double Keno Outlets Incorporated.
Scott's here
Yep, right here.
with Daily Double.
Yep.
I'll let him take the floor and kind of explain. We had an internal meeting with a couple of us, but
Yep.
go ahead.
Essentially, the Keno we run is very similar to Big Red. Keno is Keno, just different software. We have a good relationship with Ty over at Bailey's Local. He's expressed a lot of interest in working with us. We're in a number of communities. We do the city of Gretna. We think it's be more beneficial for Ty and Bailey as well as the village because our payouts are very competitive. We have a little bit less overhead, better payouts, so customers actually pay out more of our Keno over Big Red. So the village can see an increase in sales probably right off the bat. The only changes in operation for the village's side, as I discussed with Nick, is 4 to 5 things of paperwork a year, which don't take time at all, and I already pretty much pre-fill out everything out. The village would receive 9% guaranteed of the sales of Keno, and then 2% for the tax, which is 11% total guaranteed. And there is a 1% for a reserve account, which the village can maintain, or myself can maintain. I've maintained a number of the reserve accounts. But if Keno ever sees operations or anything happen, that is also the village's money as well. So essentially, bringing Keno in over Big Red, just us, looks a little bit different, but it's all the same.
Yeah, it's a pretty good deal. We've been visiting Scott for a while, and the paperwork he's referring to, it's been a few years, but I've experienced doing that paperwork filing in years past with Big Red, so it's not going to be anything we haven't done before.
What's the Big Red Keno payout?
So the payout books, essentially the way I put it is like if you play a 3 spot, you pick 3 numbers and you get them all. If you play Big Red, it's going to pay you so much. If you play our Keno, it's going to pay you more. So it puts more money in the customer's pocket and spending more business, maybe more back at Keno. So our payout books are a lot more competitive than Big Red.
I think Big Red's just so big.
They're big and they have a lot of overhead.
Yeah.
So that's why they have to skim back on the payouts.
We're tied up in an interlocal agreement with the city of Omaha through this, so I did talk to Maureen. The easiest method would be to pass a resolution that sets forth the village will not extend the current interlocal beyond the current termination date. Of course, the more difficult approach, or the earlier approach, which I think is what, May, is that when it terminates? Otherwise, if we wanted to try to do something before May, either way, it's a 60-day notice.
Yeah.
So if we wanted to do something before and get in a couple months early or whatnot, there'd just be some more hoops to jump through, and that's with the legal department.
Right,
So.
and it's in no rush. I mean, we're very patient. We will work with whatever's the most easiest for the village. We just let it play out till, just don't extend the agreement.
Yeah.
And there'll be no downtime. We'll be installed within 2 hours after they uninstall.
What's Big Red percentage to us?
Oh, it's less, but I don't
I think it
remember
was
what it
like
is.
8 point something.
Something like that.
8.5. So the village will be receiving 0.5% more, but most likely more sales.
And what's the 2 closest entities that have your game?
I'd say closest to here.
Hickman.
Hickman, Roca Sprague, Horse Denton. I got the city of Gretna, Allen.
You do have Denton.
Yeah, that's our place. I actually run that bar too. So
Adams, Claytonia, Denton, Dewitt, Gretna, Howland, Hickman, Murdoch, Roca, and Sprague.
yeah, we're opening Barneston this week as well, which is kind of near Kansas. So we have quite a few, but we also have. I like to keep it small so it's more manageable.
If you guys know how Keno does in Denton, that usually kind of a pretty good idea too.
Does really well.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's, yeah.
I'm for it.
So the other thing I would
Do it the easy way.
ask for, I guess, is just some direction to draft a resolution to put forth our intents not to renew when that time comes.
we need to vote on it right now.
No, if you guys generally agree, I'll draft the resolution. Yeah.
Okay.
I think
Any
that's
other
it.
questions?
So thank you so much.
Okay, yeah, thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. You guys have a good night.
Thank you.
Yep.
All right, that takes us to item number 13, resolution 2025-09, installation of handicap parking only sign on along 4th Street. Can I get a motion to introduce resolution 2025?
Motion to introduce resolution 2025-09.
Second.
Any further discussion?
Is this one, so did we decide this is gonna be parallel? or
It's
not?
parallel, which is why it's 24 feet.
Parallel. Okay, just wanna make sure.
Nick?
Voting on the motion second to introduce resolution 2509. Dan?
Yes.
Marcus?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
Jerry?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Resolution number 2025-09, whereas the governing body of the Village of Eagle, Nebraska has enacted a municipal code, and whereas municipal code 5-210 provides that the Board of Trustees may place stop signs or other signs, signals, standards, or mechanical devices in any street or alley under the municipality's jurisdiction for the purpose of regulating or prohibiting traffic thereon by resolution. And whereas the Village Board of Trustees of the Village of Eagle, Nebraska, as the Village of Eagle's governing body, does desire to install a handicap parking only sign in order to identify a parking space reserved for individuals with mobility impairments at the following location, which is located within the corporation limits of the Village of Eagle, Nebraska. A handicap parking only sign located on the east side of 4th Street, approximately 143 feet north of F Street, adjacent to 632 South 4th Street, valid 24 hours a day. Can I get a motion to adopt resolution 2025-09?
So moved.
Second.
Any further discussion?
The only thing about this is that I was up there when Bryce and all of us were marking this out, and there's a possibility, or not a possibility, but we have to have one call come out there because that electric line goes just almost exactly where this post would be. So, and we know the electric line's underground at that point to those lights. So,
So you should always do one call no matter.
Yeah.
Anytime we put a sign in the ground.
Once I get these approved, I'll have a one call put in for tomorrow for both these locations, or
Okay.
one or both, whatever we're doing. So.
Okay.
Voting on the motion second to adopt resolution 2509. John?
yes.
Marcus?
Yes.
Dan?
Yes.
Jerry?
Yes.
Motion carried.
All right, that takes us to item number 14, resolution 2025-10, installation of slow deaf child area signs along David Lane. Can I get a motion to introduce resolution 2025-10?
So moved.
Second.
Any further discussion? Nick?
Voting on the motion second to introduce resolution 2025-10. Marcus?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
Dan?
Yes.
Terry?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Resolution number 2025-10, whereas the governing body of the Village of Eagle, Nebraska has enacted a municipal code, and whereas municipal code 5-210 provides that the Board of Trustees may place stop signs or other signs, signals, standards, or mechanical devices in any street or alley under the municipality's jurisdiction for the purpose of regulating or prohibiting traffic thereon by resolution, and whereas the Village Board of Trustees of the Village of Eagle, Nebraska, as the Village of Eagle's governing body, does desire to install a slow deaf child area sign in order to increase driver awareness to the possibility of a child with hearing impairment in the area at the following locations, which are located within the corporate limits of the Village of Eagle, Nebraska, to wit: number one, a slow deaf child area sign located on the east side of David Lane, approximately 187 feet north of F Street, adjacent to 600 David Lane, and two, a slow-down child area sign located on the west side of Dave Lane, approximately 160 feet south of Applewood Drive, adjacent to 425 David Lane.
Okay, we had a parent reach out requesting these, some signage there on David Lane. Child's getting kind of to the age where she's out and about a little more, and just as an abundance of caution, she requested a couple signs. Royce and I went out and looked at these, and these seem to be the two best locations. They're not so sudden that you're going to miss them, but they're kind of in between where the house sits, where this property owner lives. The one on the, let's see, the one on the east side is on an existing pole, and then on the west side would take a new pole. So the one on the east side, I think it's a no parking sign, possibly. We're just going to see about just adding another sign there if you guys go that route. So that's kind of what we're looking at.
Isn't this gonna open us up to some other stuff? I mean, somebody else was, let's say somebody else was in town walking with us, says, you know, my dog crossing or something else. You know, I know
Does this
Lincoln,
generate any liability?
I know Lincoln doesn't do this.
I don't think it generates liability. I did run it by Maureen, and her only comment was to do a resolution if we're going to do it. It's the first time I've had it. I've been here 15 years. First time I've had a request like this. So
I just know what
It's new to me.
we can't get people to follow speed limit signs or stop signs or any of that. We're gonna put up another sign. I don't know if it's gonna be noticed.
I mean, I just am asking the question. I have no idea. If you put a sign up like that, is that in any way, for anybody, like something happens then, and that person had that sign up there, does that make them any more?
I don't think it's a legally recognized sign. From what I read, I just very brief research. I didn't have a lot of time. And I remember the document, Department of Transportation, Federal Department of Transportation booklet. It's not a legally binding sign, if you will. Like if some,
I was just curious.
I think
So
it's
I looked into this for the city of Lincoln. They said part of the reason they don't do it because they can't keep track of when the person moves or anything. If the person leaves, we've now spent taxpayer dollars on a sign that that person no longer lives there.
Do you make them pay these signs? Those signs cost.
These would be custom signs. It's not anything they're going to have on the shelf at All Road Barricades, so I don't know what the cost would be. What I would do is I'd send him a template and have him create it, which we've done before. I just don't know what the cost would be. I could give for my assumption is it'd be much less than our spending allowance. You know what I mean? It's not going to be $300 or anything, but
I'm just curious.
These would be kind of like children that play
Yeah.
signs. These would be bus stop ahead signs, except they're going to be smaller. Right?
yeah, they're smaller.
No driving in the car, that kind of thing.
No driving in the car.
Yeah. Yeah, not necessarily. Yeah, exactly.
So you don't think the American Disabilities Act applies to this, is what you're saying?
Well, I wouldn't want to say that.
I've seen signs up before, I've seen blind person signs up before. They're there for a reason.
I can't answer that question without my attorney present. Yeah, if a request comes in from, like you said, somebody that meets ADA, I don't know where that leaves you.
But as far as if they move or anything, if they move, your water bill automatically tells you that, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Well, it shouldn't be too hard to keep track of it.
No, they'd move. As long as,
It would be for Lincoln, though.
Yeah.
You had 200,000 people, it'd be virtually impossible to keep track of.
Or if it's a rental.
yeah.
And I don't know the property is, and that's beside the fact that I'm looking at it right now.
We don't have any other signs like this.
Just we have a couple children that play type ones. We have one right when you come off the highway and you go drive. It says slow children. Down by the park, maybe.
There's one by the park.
Okay. So similar.
I don't have a problem with it. consulted with us.
Tricia's got a question.
Sorry, go ahead.
Okay. I think that if we're gonna work towards being a better community where we're taking care of all community members, it would be a really good idea to put them up so that people feel like they can say that they're having an issue, say people driving around really fast and not being aware. Because if you honk at a kid who can't hear, they're gonna get hit. And it's gonna be a really dangerous situation. So at least attempting to bring it to people's attention to slow down is a really good scenario for them.
I mean, I see it as a good thing, but it's also, this kid's gonna get a little older eventually, and we're gonna venture further and further, so. Are we gonna put them all over town, and you go to the park, or, the next block over, or?
I feel that it's only, the parent only probably wants it there to address the issue while she's growing. And, so that, eventually she's gonna know how to deal with those things.
But she's not gonna have to take it down at a certain age.
That's
I don't know which way I'm going with it right now, but one of my other thoughts is if we start putting up too many signs, people start ignoring all signs.
That is true too.
That's where I'm at.
So I'm undecided yet. I agree with everything so far. So,
Ron, what do you think?
I think we put it up. It's the right thing to do. That's no different than the Hale, when I used to deliver the Eagle, and Hale would stop at the one residence up in that trailer park. Sign that says, beware of dogs. Well, that's fine, and the dog bit me, and no big deal, it was a pit bull. But the guy said, well, I'm sorry, but you should have paid attention to the sign. And I go, well, how many 3- and 4-year-olds can read that sign? This is for the adults as they go up and down the street, that they're watching that something doesn't suddenly move out in the street in front of them, and I think it's a wise idea.
I mean, whether it helps or not, we will never know, but I think we should do it. This is,
Yep, we do have it introduced. We had a little bit of discussion. Do we have a motion to adopt, or do you want to?
I'll make a motion to adopt
Okay.
resolution number 2025-10.
Second.
Any further discussion? Nick?
Voting on the motion second to adopt resolution 25-10. John,
Yes.
Marcus,
yes.
Dan,
Yes.
Terry.
Yes.
Motion carried.
All right, that takes us to item number 16. Approve Riverstone Bank as the Village of Eagle Depository.
Motion to approve Riverstone Bank as the Village of Eagle Depository.
Second.
Any further discussion? Nick?
Voting on the motion second to approve Riverstone Bank as the Village of Eagle Depository. Dan,
Yes.
Marcus,
Yes.
John,
Yes.
Terry.
Yes.
Motion carried. Nope.
Report from Streets and Maintenance.
They washed the chipper today, we're done chipping. They're going to start, they've got pumped a little bit of the rainwater out of the bottom of the pool. They're going to start filling it, I think, tomorrow-ish.
Did they get the steps fixed?
No, but I told them to fill it up almost to the steps, and we'll wait for another week or so, and then, gets to be the first weekend, or, end of the first week of November, we'll finish filling it, just the heck with it.
Yeah, maybe.
Covers.
The lot.
Plastic cover.
I haven't seen them, I think they ordered them.
I don't think they
You
have.
don't think they have? Okay.
But I don't know for sure. Last I talked to Bryce, they had not yet, but I did follow up with him.
It was on the list for them to
It
do.
needs to step on the gas there, they get.
Terry, will you take a note to remind them one more time?
Okay,
Okay.
plastic cover, yeah, it's,
They pull the battery off
The
the
flat ones. The battery,
and
I think so.
actually, Dan, they could get them and put them on next spring.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure they have it, so we don't get to that point, all of a sudden they're back ordered, or we don't have them.
Right, okay.
We need-
Let me think of here.
Yes, the battery is off the handicap right now, the handicap, but
The pool bathrooms will close next Monday.
our bathrooms,
Yeah, what did I say? Park bathrooms will close next Monday. It was on your water bill if you read it.
you taking volleyball nets down yet?
No, but
No.
Adam just got back today, so.
Yeah, and I think they finished just recently too, so.
It's there's a lot of things on the list. So yeah, it's on the list, so they know it needs to be done. I produced a new maintenance manual for the generators and the automobiles. So it's a complete list. So when they do an oil change, it's about 30 different items for them to check. And also, you can open up the book. It'll have the VIN number. It'll have all the fuel filter, oil filter numbers, and everything. So it's a Bible for them. It'll have the miles when they do it, the hours on the generators, everything. We've been using I started a spiral book back when I started here. It's kind of iffy, and so this is a notebook, colored sections for them to fill out. One thing I'm going to bring up, I'm cheating a little bit, but this is kind of a maintenance item, and kind of not, but it fits in here. I would like to place, if I get the display cabinet that I like to get, I buy it, it's mine. For a history display of Eagle, I would like to set it in the front office against the west wall. It'll be an antique cabinet. The antique cabinet's going to look a little odd in a newer type setting, but I've got memorabilia from Eagle, and I would like to, and I've already kind of started mentioning to older people that if you have something that you would like to display. Now, you and I talked about this a couple of years ago, but I need the feeling of the board. No cost whatsoever. I do want to make sure that it's covered under insurance, because between the cabinet and the things that I put in, it'd be valued at approximately $2,000. And then if other people bring stuff in just for exhibit, mine's just for exhibit. When I leave, I may take it, I may leave it.
I'm not gonna let you do that.
You're not gonna let me. But anyway, I need some kind of approval to do that. I don't want to just move it in and say nobody asked.
So is it locked?
No, can't lock it.
Well, when we get upstairs like we have in some of our meetings and nobody's downstairs at all, do you think that's wise?
Would you wanna put a lock on it?
I don't want to ruin the cabinet by putting a lock on it.
I understand, but I'm saying that
Yeah,
it puts us in a,
I thought about that. I don't see, anything could happen. They could break a window through the thing and go in and break the cook, because it's almost all glass. They could break the glass and grab stuff. We got cameras there. I'm not worried about it.
okay.
I'm not going to race hell if something happens. We'll call the police and we'll have video and there's probably a deductible, but that is a thing that I do want you to think about. It needs to be somehow covered in the insurance thing.
I think it's a good idea. I think it's
It'd be
something
nice to
nice for
have.
the neighborhood,
Maybe
for the
somebody-
community.
Well, it might expand. We
I'm sure it
we
will.
have nothing. I go to VF towns that have a VFW hall. They have history. You have people that have a community center. There's trophy case. There's history. We have Alville even has their little history section. So
I think you're gonna find it's gonna grow faster than you think.
well, I would hope so. And it'll start small. I've got to gather everything and display it. It'll start slow. And like I said, the cabinet's going to look a little odd to begin with there, but I may be able to get some barn board and stuff. I don't know. I'm just thinking through this, but I'd like to get started on it.
I think it's a good idea. I think we should do that. Anybody else have any objections?
I think you need.
We'll just check with Jim and make sure, see how insurance works as long as we have that, which
Yes.
I'm sure it will be, but just add that little notation in there maybe. One thing on chipping, Cherry was talking about chipping. I think we'll have the guys go around and tag doors again because there's 5, 6 plus piles still out there. People are, you try to get the information out there, but I said quite a few piles driving around. People are still putting piles out. So last year we went around and tagged doors and said,
Just let them know we're not.
you have to get rid of it, get it out of the right of way, take care of it.
And Nick and I did last chipping, and we only missed one pile.
That was pretty
And
good.
we picked it up and hauled it out to my burn pile.
They made a full load in the quarter.
Yeah.
Good.
I think that's all on maintenance.
Okay.
Okay.
I've got one, but go ahead.
Oh, no, go ahead. I was just,
Dan and I met with Barbara, and hey, Nick and Terry were there as well as far as F Street and 4th Street updates went. And when we kind of left there, Dan had mentioned, and I support it, that hey, when we get closer to having that actually done, we invite some of the residents along those streets to a meeting that's nothing but that on the agenda.
I think we need to have a special meeting for it.
Yeah.
Because I think that would be wise if we do that.
Yep.
that's a good idea.
Because people are already asking a few questions.
I've had several people ask.
This way they can
Explain
see
to
the
them
plans and what it's gonna look like.
and how it works.
And we did get the first, I don't know exactly what was, but we got the first 2 bills from Barbara today. One was for 25,000, one was for 12,000, so it's 37,000 invested so far.
These will eventually be wrapped up in the bond if we so choose to do it that way. But that's we're incurring costs already. Let's just say.
But we invite them, and if they don't come, well, hey, we extended the invitation, we're covered.
Yep.
Okay, that takes us to item number 7.
Team.
Well,
Uh,
17.
Yeah, 17. Water's doing fine, sewer's doing fine. Couple of things, the water system now, the water main going out to
Eagles Landing.
Eagles Landing is live now. Bryce flushed all the fire hydrants on the way out. Some of them were a little dirty. So it's circulating now. It's live. So therefore the fire hydrants are live.
He went clear into the landing itself and did those 2 or not.
Everything.
Are we expected to do that in the future or just this time?
Well, we do all the general maintenance.
Okay.
Flushing fire hydrants, reading meters, watching the installation of the water taps, that type of thing.
Okay.
No physical maintenance though. Something breaks, they call somebody and it's fixed.
Is the fire department aware that they're live now?
Probably not.
Well, they left, but no, they are not.
The
Now,
bags are off.
but even before we actually maybe mention it to them, I thought it was important to get a pressure test on each one of them. And so I called today the rural water, and who did I talk to? What was
Randy.
Yeah, Randy Hellbush. And he didn't know where their testing meter was, but he was going to find it, and either we've got to go pick it up or they'll drop it off if they're in this area in the next few days, he said. I said, well, not in a real hurry, but we'd like to do it before the weather got real cold. And so probably this week sometime, either he'll drop it off, or if they can't make it out here, we can send somebody up after it. And, theoretically half a day or so, we should be able to get them all tested. Bryce says when you really get out west, there doesn't seem to be a lot of pressure. However, if you've noted, the pumping, the booster pump has been installed. It's there in the nice little building. And they spend a ton of money on it because it has you can inject chemicals into it. It's got everything. Last I knew, I was out there middle of last week sometime, and it did not have electricity yet. So I know the electrical people have been out trying to install electricity. They don't have a generator. The generator's not there yet for it fits in the building. The building's air conditioned. It'll run 24/7, 365 days a week.
The furthest, was it the furthest west hydrant to
The
the
very
lake?
west hydrant on the road that goes straight west, the seal right before it goes into the ground where the actual hydrant bolts on, the seal's leaking really bad. So before we pay them anything, and they haven't asked, that needs to be fixed because it leaks pretty bad. So anyway, there'll be pressure testing. That way we have some idea and we'll be able to. Oh, one other thing. I made the decision, you can tell me if I'm wrong. I think I wanted them to number each hydrant clear out, starting at 5th Street, going out, and then in the development. And I just told them, take a small paintbrush and put a number so when you drive by, it's big enough, not a giant number, but it's big enough you can see it. So that way, when we take the pressure readings, we can match the pressure readings with the hydrant. Anything, if the hydrant happens to not suck back, we can identify what's number 13 that needs to be pumped out or whatever because it could freeze. So it's a way to identify each hydrant because there's enough of them now. I don't even know how many. There's got to be 20 at least. That way we can identify them because there's no address that we can use.
But if you're leaking that far out there, isn't that going to affect the pressure as you move into the landing?
It's only leaking when you open the
Okay.
fire hydrant.
Okay.
Yeah. So anyway, that's going on. There is number one office staff person should go, and probably at least one board member, if not two. So I received a call from Cass County Rural Water informing us that we should have been invited to this particular meeting. This meeting is November 6th at Weeping Water at 10 a.m. What's the meeting about? According to the rural water person that called me, it's about the communities that potentially would like to hook up to the water line going from the Missouri River to Lincoln. That's strictly what this meeting's about. I was informed. He said, well, you should be getting an email or a letter. We have not gotten anything yet.
I haven't either, and yet we gave it to them. Well, I gave it to them when I was in Lincoln to that meeting, and yeah, we'll put it on file.
Yeah, they told me the first time they stopped out that they were going to invite us too, and we never got an invite, so doesn't surprise me.
But the meeting, and there again, I don't know if we're interested, but somebody probably should go to see what it's about and to see the time. November 6th at 10 a.m.
Got it.
in Weeping Water.
What day of the week is it?
Look on the calendar.
November 6th is a
Thursday.
Thursday.
I can go to it if need be.
Okay, so anyway, I think one of us should go too. You can go, I'll stay and
Maybe it's more informative than the W-2 one
We
was.
send you, Terry. We don't know yet.
Now, I actually got a letter from the people, the Lincoln people, outlining everything that was covered in our meeting that we went to.
Yeah.
You get one of those?
I did the one in Lincoln, you guys did the one over here.
Right. But today in the mail, I got it. It's about 4 pages long.
Really?
And it reviewed it answered some questions that were asked. I'll bring it to work tomorrow. But I thought it was, okay, that's
All right, thank
all I
you.
have.
All right, thank you, Terry. That takes us to item number 18. Approve or deny minutes as typed for the previous meeting.
Motion to approve the minutes as presented.
I'll second.
Any further discussion? Nick?
Voting on the motion second to approve minutes is tight for the previous meeting. Dan?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
Marcus?
Yes.
Terry?
Abstain.
Motion carried. I didn't say that. I'm sure I did or not.
Thank you.
Thanks.
He sounds like
I know he does. I like it.
All right, that takes us to item number 19, report from committees and boards. Anybody?
There may not be any reports, but the health board needs to get together.
Yeah. I don't have time for this, Terry.
Particularly 600
You are.
Highway 34 house, that just driving by it looks pathetic. I mean, there should be no one living in it because the water's been shut off now for 3 weeks.
Nobody lives in it now. They did though, right?
Yeah,
The lady that got.
but if somebody's living in there now, they shouldn't be because there's no water.
I think there's still somebody there.
Well,
There's no water to be given to.
no, they had water. Then yeah, there was a whole.
It's been a mess.
Yeah.
And they are not going to get water until there's a health inspection
Of the inside.
on the inside.
We need to go
Plus
look
a
at the outside.
$179 bill. So we know that nobody's,
Nobody's supposed to.
well, they can be living there, but not
You know,
legally.
they tap into the water themselves.
So Terry and Dan, you're
I
on
have
that.
to check it every now and
You're on
then.
that committee with me. What works for you guys? Let's just knock one out quick before it gets too deep in the fall.
I don't care.
What day of the week do you like? Usually we do it during the day so you can see.
I like Fridays.
Right.
Yeah, 'cause I work from home on Fridays.
You like Friday morning?
I can
After
make any
lunch.
time. Yeah.
Friday at 1.
Cheer.
This Friday at 1?
Well, I need time to do
That's-
a notice and stuff, so
Next Friday
I'll
at
be in
1?
touch with you. Let's shoot for next Friday at
Don't
1.
you have to get a medical person or a law person?
We don't have one, so we're going rogue.
Halloween day.
Oh,
That's fine.
Is that fitting or not?
Yeah.
let's just try it.
Wasn't the owner semi-interested in letting fire department in?
I'll try my suit.
There you go. We'll dress up for that one.
I think they were.
Wasn't that before he sold it?
What'd you say?
Before the last people that lived there, I thought the owner was semi-interested in letting him control burn it.
Yeah, he kind of was.
And then he thought somebody wanted to run it.
Yeah. We, yeah, there's some back and forth on that, so.
Alright, anything else? Alright,
Is that it?
meeting adjourned at 8:34.
Alright.
Did you save all this stuff so I have to read it instead of you? Did you have to
Nick-
read it much last time?
Nick read more than you did this time.
You made Mary?
I made Nick read. He offered and I said, yes, you bet.
You didn't.
I didn't have time to make it.
Oh, well, you always want that cheap, but that's a good way to go.